some continue to enjoy internal peace. Please be seated. Right. Senior press. Today's briefing, as usual, is aimed at shedding more light on the progress of ongoing military operations, the strategy employed by our troops, and some measures put in place to safeguard civilian operation and also some critical national assets. I will provide insight into successes achieved, the challenges faced, and the way forward in ensuring the safety of all Nigerians. As you are all aware, the nation is currently confronted with several security challenges, ranging from insurgency, terrorism, banditry, farmer-herders clashes, as well as socialist agitations and economic sabotage, among others. Accordingly, the armed forces of Nigeria, in collaboration with African forces and other security agencies, continue to deploy strategies like
You're home to GTV Africa. There is little technical error and the lights just went off. In a few minutes, the lights will be back and the activities will continue as usual. This light is not the same thing with the light that is streaming, and that's why you see that. And as soon as everything comes back, normal things will be okay, and we'll continue with the briefing. Thank you for understanding. Uh, the
armed forces of Nigeria, in collaboration with African forces and other security to deploy advanced strategies to combat this. I think we have to leave this something. Can we erase that and start over? Just erase it and then start with this. So that I won't be. Okay. Are you sure you're okay? We will start over. Senior officers, distinguished gentlemen of the press, today's briefing, as usual, is aimed at shedding more light on the progress of ongoing military operations, the strategy employed by our troops, and measures put in place to safeguard civilian operation and critical national assets. Don't worry, let me lose my. You see, if I use
where this is happening because the light situation
today's briefing, as
is giving
usual,
issue, and we're going to use another that is to make it up.
ongoing military operations, the strategies employed by our troops, and measures put in place to safeguard civilian and national assets. I will provide insight into the successes achieved, the challenges faced, and the way forward in ensuring safety of all Nigerians. As you are all aware, the nation is currently confronted with several security challenges, including insurgency, terrorism, banditry, farmer and herders clashes, as well as socialist agitations and economic sabotage, among others. Accordingly, the Armed Forces of Nigeria, in collaboration with Army forces and other security agencies, continue to deploy strategies to combat these threats and restore peace across all affected communities. I need to reiterate that our military operations are guided by clear mandates to achieve all forms, to defeat all forms of threats, maintain peace and promote national unity and protect every Nigerian citizen. We are committed to transparency, and it is our responsibility to keep the public informed about the nature and objectives of these operations. We recognize the critical role of the media in keeping the public informed about our operational activities and fostering trust within the military and civilian population. Within the period of 10 to 17 July 2025, troops of Armed Forces of Nigeria killed scores of terrorists while suspected others were arrested. Troops also apprehended perpetrators of fire theft and rescued some kidnapped hostages. In Operation Delta Safe Theater, for example, troops fought fire theft worth over 291,326,400 naira only. The breakdown indicates 201,345 liters of stolen crude oil, 29,730 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil, and 1,751 liters of gas kerosene. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed 18 crude oil cooking ovens, had 2 dugout pits, 16 boats, 21 storage tanks, 17 pumps, and 19 illegally refining sites. Other items recovered include pumping and drilling machines, tricycles, motorcycles, mobile phones, and 13 vehicles, among others. Furthermore, 42 oil thieves and other criminals were arrested, while assorted arms and ammunition and some explosives were also recovered. During this brief, I shall give an overview of the activities of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hurricane, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fancy Yaman, Joint Task Force North Central Operation Safe Haven, and Joint Task Force North Central Operation Wild Stroke. Thereafter, the successes recorded by Joint Task Force South South Operation Pulo Shield and Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Odoka shall also be discussed. Let me begin by looking at Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hurricane. Between 10 to 16 July 2025, troops Operation Hurricane sustained effort to deny Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists freedom of action in the Northeast region. During the period, our ground forces in synergy with air component and hybrid forces, as well as local security stakeholders, have conducted aggressive operations across the theater. Their effort led to the arrest of terrorist logistics suppliers, recovery of weapons, dismantling of terrorist network, and support for safe resettlement of displaced persons. The troops also conducted kinetic operations against Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists in the general areas of Tangalaga, Bula Marwa, Mandara Girao, Agapalwa, New Martin, Kalabali, Lassa, Kumaila, and Karma, as well as other areas in Bama, Kukawa, Biu, and Gwaza local government areas. During this operation also, they also arrested terrorists in Abadan local government area of Borno State and eliminated scores of them. Also, large number of terrorists comprising adult males and females, including children, surrendered to the troops as operational tempo heightened across the theater. Groups also conducted operations in Konduga, Marte, Gala, Kalabande, Dambua, Chibok, and Askira local government areas of Borno State, as well as Edam, and Damaturu local government areas of Yobe State. During these encounters, some terrorists were killed in action. 11 of their collaborators were also arrested, while 7 kidnapped victims were rescued. Some quantities of arms and ammunition were also recovered. They also retrieved and safely detonated some IEDs, while the sum of 17,150 naira only was recovered from them. Similarly, 2 members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, identified as Isa Abdullahi and Abdullahi Mohammed, were arrested in Leah B, local government area of Borno State, while waiting from a truck was also recovered from them, which corresponded with the intelligence received earlier on the same consignment. The items include 13 pairs of military uniforms and some high voltage batteries, amongst others. Relatedly, another terrorist logistics supplier known as Shaibu Bulama, 65 years old, was arrested at Damasak Motor Park in Yobe State on 13 July 2025. As a result of certain military operations in the Northeast Theater, 16 family members of terrorists, including 4 adult females and 12 children, surrendered to troops in Bama local government areas on 14 July. Preliminary investigation indicated that the group surrendered from Bakura Jenga village. Now let's shift our emphasis to Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Pansaya. Between 11 to 14 July, groups responded to information about terrorist activities in Budu and Ilela local government areas of Sokoto State, as well as Zurumi and Rafi local government areas of Zamfara and Niger State, respectively. During these encounters, some terrorists were also eliminated. 6 of them were arrested, while 3 kidnapped victims were rescued. Relatedly, groups work on routine patrol made contact with terrorists in Kawananga, Zurumi, Safe, and Shikafi local government areas of Zamfara State, as well as Tonko Wasabu local government areas of Kebbi State. They also conducted operations in Mariga and Monufashi local government areas of Niger and Katsina States, respectively. During these operations, our gallant troops liberated some terrorists, arrested 9 of them, and rescued 4 kidnapped victims. Items recovered during the operation include arms and ammunition, as well as motorcycles, where other consignments were burned in situ. Also, on 10 July, troops arrested 3 suspected gun runners in Solomon local government areas of Sokoto State, in possession of 9 AK-47 rifles and over 450 rounds of assorted ammunition and a sum of 365,000 naira only. On the same day, an notorious extremist of the kidnapper identified as Gambosani was arrested in Toro local government area of Bauchi State. A word on Joint Task Force North Central Operation Self-Help. Within the period 9 to 16 July, troops of Operation Self-Help conducted offensive operations and responded to distress calls our terrorist activities in Pasa, Barkeladi, South Wase, Rayon, and Jos East local government areas of Plateau State, as well as Kaura and Sanga local government areas of Kaduna State. While conducting these operations, they contacted extremists and killed some of them, arrested 12, and rescued 3 kidnapped victims. So weapons, ammunition, motorcycles, and vehicles were recovered from them. Similarly, groups of Operation Self-Help were on routine patrol arrested 7 militias in Barkeladi and Josao local government areas of Plateau State, as well as Wamba and Sanga local government areas of Nasarawa and Kaduna State, respectively. Items recovered from there also include weapons, ammunition, and motorcycles, as well as illicit drugs. Similarly, on 19 July, our gallant troops intercepted a vehicle with bullet holes along Jos Sanga Road. Suspect attempted to induce troops with monetary gratification while the troops declined. Troops arrested two suspects, recovered weapons and ammunition, a vehicle, and the sum of 13,742,000 naira from them. Investigation ongoing where attempts recovered in groups custody. Let us look at Joint Task Force North Central Operation Wild Stroke. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke recorded high level of successes in their areas of responsibility during the week. They eliminated some terrorists in Wukari, Karim Lando, and Dunga local government areas of Taraba State, as well as Ukum and Kuma local government areas of Benue State. They also conducted operations in Awe, Kefi, Akwanga, and Obi local government areas of Nasarawa State, as well as Yaba West, Tekena, and Okene local government areas of Kogi State. During these operations, troops eliminated some terrorists as well, arrested 13 of them, and rescued 5 kidnapped victims. They also recovered arms and ammunition, motorcycles, vehicles, and large quantities of substances suspected to be cannabis and illicit drugs. Let us shift emphasis now to Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe. Troops of Operation Delta Safe recovered 201,345 liters of stolen crude oil, 29,730 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil, and 1,759 liters of dual-purpose kerosene. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed 18 crude oil cooking ovens, 42 dagger pits, 16 boats, 21 storage tanks, 13 drums, and 19 illegally refining sites. Other items recovered include pumping machines, drilling machines, tricycles, motorcycles, mobile phones, and 13 vehicles. Furthermore, 42 oil thieves and other criminals were arrested, while assorted arms and ammunition and some explosives were also recovered. Troops were conducting offensive operations arrested and notorious cult leader identified as Prince Johnson Ishiri, otherwise known as Commander Junior, and 13 other suspected criminals in the East local government area of River State, as well as Eshimiri, Wari South, and Ukwani local government areas of Delta State. Weapons and ammunition, as well as vehicles and motorcycles, were also recovered from them. Troops also raided criminal cyber in southern Ijo local government areas of Bayan State and arrested 28 oil thieves and some drug dealers on 10th July this year. A word on Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Dog. Troops of Operation Dog sustained offensive posture throughout the week under review. They eliminated 2 suspected IPOB members, arrested 14 of them, and rescued 6 kidnapped victims in Guada and Hera, local government areas of Anambra State, as well as Ishalango local government area of Imo State. Also in Arachuku and Okigo local government areas of Abia and Imo State. Similarly, 2 kidnapped victims were rescued during an intelligence-led operation conducted in Udi local government area of Imo State on 14th July 2025. In a related development, on 10th July 2025, our groups arrested an IPOB ASN terrorist collaborator who was commissioned by the terrorists to collect taxes from the locals on their behalf in the local government area of Anambra State. The groups recovered the sum of 1.5 million naira from the suspects. Distinguished gentlemen, it is heartwarming to report that farmers in the northeast, particularly northern Borno, northwest, north central, and other areas affected by conflict have started farming activities as our groups have significantly degraded terrorists and bandits and other criminal elements in the areas, who hitherto obstructed farming activities in the areas. Our groups have been conducting aggressive food and air patrols across farming communities in all theaters in order to guarantee security Senior officer, gentlemen of the press, let me emphasize that the Nigerian military cooperation of all stakeholders remain committed to the protection of our national sovereignty, the security of our people, and upholding constitutional order. We are constantly guided by operational guidelines, code of conduct for internal security operations, and laws of armed conflicts. As the Nigerian military strategizes to conclude these operations, I urge the public to continue to cooperate with security agencies, remain vigilant, and report any suspicious activities to appropriate authorities. The support of all Nigerians and indeed the media is crucial to overall mission success. We shall continue to provide timely updates and ensure transparency throughout these operations. Thank you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and also bless all of us.
It will be question and answer at the moment, and we'll be listening to questions if there are.
Gentlemen of the press, and you all agree with me that the ongoing operations across all theaters have significantly recorded successes. Why are we saying this? When we look at what happens in the southeast now and northwest, I think we have significantly degraded the record of IPOB and the bandits in the north. They are now on the run. Some work is being done by our armed forces, and as usual, we always look up to you, relate to us, and tell the story to Nigerians about the successes of our troops in the field, and also appreciate these commanders and their men, because as we sit here, sleep, discuss, talk about these operations, they are there in the field. We are with our families, they are there without their families. Their families are themselves in the field. So all they need is encouragement, support, all of us. And that is why we always urge you to objectively spread this story to members of the public and of course to other community for effort the troops are making. It's not easy, but for the special grace of God, we will bring these operations to further completion. Thank you very much. As I wait, if there are any questions now, observations, and suggestions that can improve what you are doing from your governments. Because some of you have been visiting the theater, have you? And so probably you can offer some advice. So let me begin from my left side of the eye. So number one, number two, number three. Okay. We'll begin from number three.
Morning, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Lucky Saudi from Channels Television.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So I just want to get your reaction to a candid video of a soldier claiming that the commanders are shortchanging them at various places of operation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Number two.
Good morning, sir. My name is Dr. David, Director of Leadership.
Okay.
Yes, last week, we appreciate the efforts of the military, but last week, there was a disaster when the Nigerian went for an operation in Delta. They went to Escapos and had there was a mishap. And in your brief, they did not hear anything about the lives that were lost, either confirmed or rejected. So we tried to get official statement from the Harvard Department. So what is the update on that encounter? And then the Turkish ambassador said that there is a terror in Nigeria with a link to one of their failed governments. I want to know if you will say that.
The link to their
One of the failed governments in their side.
First government where?
Yeah. They failed to in 2015 as based in their country. So
Which country?
what?
Turkey.
Yes.
Turkey. All right. All right. Okay, that is answered. So, sorry. Well, as the information from the place you are talking about, as far as Prince Brother is concerned, it's an official pronouncement. As everybody is free to say whatever you want to say, there is freedom of information. And then also forget that there are so many forces working against us as we continue to fight this terrorists. So that one, that has not been in our knowledge. The other terrorist group are talking about. And in respect of what happened in Operation Delta Savior, they said there were some casualties. I don't know that what are the figures of casualties. Okay. This brief every month or every week we receive secrets from all the operation areas about what transpired in their areas of responsibility. We may be hearing so many things from outside what they say to us, but it will be unnecessary to use social media reports to come and get an official brief for us, different from what we receive from the field commanders in the field. That's what I can tell you about that. And number three was asking that there's a soldier that claims that field commanders are maltreating them in the field. Well, distinguished gentlemen, guys, you see, most of the things we hear on social media, there are many soldiers that have gone to social media, took social media, and start talking some things about the campuses of Nigeria, be it the Navy, Air Force, Army, and in other, it also happened in other agencies. There are some that are dissatisfied with what they feel it should be. There are some of these soldiers that have committed offenses at the front line. And once disciplinary action is taken against them, and the outcome of the disciplinary action is favorable to them, they can go about saying certain things that are put forward towards this, which is not right. And I've had so many of such misguided soldiers going to social media to say some things that are not true. If a commander is given resources to conduct this operation and take care of his men, the commander on his own cannot do all this without the men. The commander cannot do it alone without the accessibility of the equipment under his command. And so he must use those resources to maintain those equipment so that the troops can use them. And of course, the troops cannot go and fight for this stuff. For a soldier to say they are changing them, how? Did he elaborate on in which form their ambitions changed? How is it so changed? Did they give them money to share and they gave him less money? Every soldier is given his operational allowance and it's known to all of them. All the soldiers are fed centrally in the theater, and I don't think they will cook meal and then give to some soldiers and food to give to others. It cannot happen now. So sometimes some of the soldiers that go on social media and those that probably did something wrong, they are sanctioned and they don't feel comfortable with what or with the award of the punishment they are given. I have also seen on social media, I think she's a soldier also, a lady that has been talking so much about officers, even officers' families. Should pick this officer, talk about him, pick this one, talk about him. But when you listen to some of those stories, you know that the person also needs help. The person needs help. So it's good to identify the person and then carry him for help. Then the last question from this side, number one.
So, although it has been answered, my question has been answered partly, but I would like to get your view on what you make of these foreign countries who are trying to cause unnecessary panic. Because yesterday when that story broke, that there's a new terrorist group in the country, I received calls from my family to say, we are even considered like it or not. So I want to react on these things. Should Nigeria listen to their security reports over us, or should what should Nigerians do? Because this thing we think we can cheaply do the job for as some persons that is getting to them and they believe whatever is coming from outside the country than what we have in the country. The second question is on our farmers in northwest and north, I said they are being secured that adequate security for them to farm. We also know that in southeast, southwest, they still have issues of herdsmen and other criminal gangs who have not been allowing them to farm. Are there assurance from the military high command that they also enjoy the same benefits those in the northwest and northeast are enjoy, so that at least we can boost our food security? Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. I talk in general terms. One, I say troops are conducting operations and also providing conducive atmosphere for farmers to farm their farm. It's not only peculiar to the northwest or the northeast. It is also happening across all tiers. In the north central, for instance, on the flat, similarly in the south, even in the southeast, I'm talking about. I've just told you that the situation in the southeast is gradually coming to normalcy because all the things we've been hearing about in the southeast, we don't hear much about them again. So the situation is coming. The commander, the Shokodoga, the GOC, the division is doing so well in that place. And I also saw air component of that Shokodoga last week flying with helicopters to some places in the southeast because they told us the helicopter of the Air Force that flew around certain areas probably we are bringing items to terrorist criminals that the Air Force, the Air Component, with the authorization of the Air Component, I mean the field commander as well as the chief of air staff deployed two helicopters to that place. The helicopter landed from places there, gathered some of the village kids, community leaders, the youth, and addressed them and educated them that look, we are here as part of the Operation Club. Any helicopter you see here is Nigerian Air Force helicopter. And the agitation, rose from the training. There's flight training school there, helicopter training school in for the Air Force. So probably once some villagers saw those kind of helicopters flying all over, they raised an alarm. And Air Force people came up to tell them that look, our pilots are trained, so there's no loss to alarm. And that was the reason why he deployed those two helicopters to go to those villages and sensitize them so that they can be. Regarding the other aspect, you said whether Nigeria should take what other countries or some people from outside are saying about us. Look, let me tell you, even you now, somebody can jump up and start saying some stories about you. And when you read it, you know, as if you are like one. When you know yourself, is it not so? Nigeria is an independent sovereign nation that can think and act for itself. But we have countries that we have good relationships with, diplomatic relations, military cooperations, those ones are friends. But if any person from any part of the world, propagate certain stories that cast aspersion on the well-being of Nigeria. And Nigeria cannot just take it for what they are saying, because Nigeria knows what it is, and the Nigerian military have their own code of conduct. They have their operational guidelines, and they know the countries that we share military cooperation. So we cannot take what other people are saying about Nigeria and take it for real and start having to tell you that this is what's happening in Nigeria. Hear it from outside. No. There's no how we can take what other people are saying about Nigeria for real. Nigeria not said. I will know it. We are an independent sovereign nation. And don't also forget that there are propagandists all over the world. Psychological operations going on everywhere. And that's why you hear sometimes there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Thank you so much. So I now shift to the right side of the eye. Number one there. Number two, the lady in the middle. Okay, number two.
Good morning, sir. My name is Amis Megan. I write from the France, Nigeria. It gladdens our hearts to hear of the efforts being made by troops of GCS Southeast Commission local, especially regarding how they have decimated IPOB. But there are still security concerns, especially regarding this approach. It is not universally, there are still security concerns. There is not everywhere that people feel free to run business or go about their lives on Mondays. So my question is, when can we expect a total non-restriction or a total relaxation of that approach? Because if IPOB elements have been degraded as we believe they have been, then we should expect that a time will come when they will no longer do that approach restriction. So when can we expect that to happen and for it to be universal in all the areas of the South? Thank you.
Yes, please. First question.
Morning, sir. Please, I will bring you back to that mistake. When you talked about briefly about operations in that general area.
Where?
That mistake. Okay. But when you talked about general operations, operations within that general area, can you speak to the recent attacks in Rio? Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me start with the lady that asked about the Southeast. You see, the seat of home order in the Southeast is not a government policy. It was not the government that ordered people to sit at home on Mondays. That seat of home order was initiated by independent people of Biafra on the Institution for Criminals, so that they can probably think they have authority to make people do what they want. And don't also forget that in the Southeast, when people hear these orders from them, even if they are told to come out on those days in some areas, they will not, for fear of probably being attacked, even if there's nothing to fear about. And that's why the commander there has really sustained operations against the IPOB criminals. I don't think for now there's even that full order operating in some part of that state. I mean that because on Mondays you see people going about their normal business. Because the sit-at-home order was against money. Actually, at the at the start of that order, people don't come out on Mondays. But now people come out when they see the effort of military, taking on the IPOB and the ASM criminals. So the city of home order, I don't think is so much effective in that area now. Then, even what was wrong? Okay. Okay. Again, in local government area, we witnessed some attacks during the week. I had some denials from certain quarters that they were not responsible for the attack, and that if there's any attack, members of the association, I should not be asked. That security agencies are responsible for investigating and bringing the perpetrators of evil in certain communities in any part of Nigeria. But the locals were saying that they saw some people trying to identify them, that they that perpetrated the attack. And so, it was from self-hearing. They are top of the situation and they are trying to unravel what went wrong, and therefore they are able to face it. Well, I can tell you exactly what was said. I think there is no other person. So, in the absence of any other question, let me once again appreciate all of you for coming. Thank you for the good job you are doing. Continue to inform Nigerians about the efforts of the armed forces of Nigeria. Thank you so much. We have already observed the minister from the beginning of the brief, so I don't think there's need for us to get have another Mr. Thank you so much. Okay, I think it's the soft copy you need to get. Please sit down. Yeah.
Thank you for the week. Briefing has come to an end for this week, and I want to assure you that we continue to bring live feed from every activities that is on at different location to your view. Till I come your way again, I'm Bemiga Olamiko. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.
Please, all your storage should be put on the GMO platform. It's not